Here we are again with another exclusive interview, this time with Absolute Valentine. We're really privileged to welcome Johann, the man himself behind Absolute Valentine. Hi Johann, how are you doing?
Hi, I feel really good. I'm super excited, and that's my first video interview. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Cool, okay. Breathe, this isn't the end. Absolute Valentine is back, and here he is to take down the corp. That's the opening line on your Bandcamp blurb, which for your new album, Omega, which has obviously just been released. So first of all, are you happy with the initial response for the album?
Yeah, I'm really happy about the response, and yeah, some people begin to think it's already my best album. I really enjoy an artist called Fool. He is one of my influencers, and he told me, yeah, the album is really good. He really enjoyed it, and that's the first contact I get with this man. So it's super exciting.
It makes it worth it already if you're getting one of your influencers come to you and say, you know what, you've done a good job. You're like, wow, yeah, you know, that is cool. Initially, some of the promotion's been great, and you've got the promo video, which is anime style, where you're sort of in that, and you know, there's kind of a big explosion, and if you've not seen the video, guys, I mean, just go and check it out through, I think it's on your Facebook page, is that right? And on Bandcamp as well?
For this video, it was really quick because yeah, I have worked a long time on the album and the artwork, but for the videos, I contacted Antunes Sketch, and yeah, he worked really fast. So I just said to him, okay, I get a concept. I need something with an explosion at the end, and it have take perhaps 3 weeks to be done. And yeah, he spot what I wanted and what I was feeling. He translate everything I wanted in this video. So I think it was really cool to do a teaser with that.
It's apparent that you're an anime fan, Japanese animation, yeah. And we all grew up with the anime and some of the kind of the sci-fi and fantasy cartoons. Have you got any favourites? What are the ones that stand out for you personally?
Yeah, I really enjoy Ghost in the Shell as example. In French we said Nicky Larson, but I know in English it's City Hunter. Mm-hmm. Gunem,
yeah.
Alita.
Alita, yeah. Have you seen the new one? You've just seen the film?
No, I didn't get the time and the chance to see it, but yeah, when it will be available, I will look at it.
When we were talking before, you mentioned that you're happy with being able to include a bit of variety in sounds and tone on the album, and that does definitely come across. Are there any tracks that personally you really kind of like the most, or are you just happy with it in its entirety?
Yeah, I'm really happy about the full album, but yeah, there is one track I really enjoy. I said one, but there is more. But Spitfire, yeah, Spitfire, I really enjoy it because for the first time I have no intro. In fact, it's like a blast, you know, and yeah, because it's just after Resurrect, and yeah, Absolute Valentine is live, and he want to revenge first, you know, so.
You went in all guns blazing to grab people and bring them into the whole scenario again. Spitfire stands out for me as well. It's a real thumping track, kind of got that club vibe. You know, the epic track, Paramount Glamour Myth, I love, and actually because it's got kind of a progressive vibe to it. There's the cyberpunk sound of Omega itself. You've got the atmosphere of the vocals in Impossible. And then, you know, Dark and Slow with Bad Power, and then an awesome closer, like a closing credit sequence at the end with the Strange Hope, which is the last track. So, you know, guys, definitely go out and have a listen. And you know, I think with you can see there's definitely the anime or the filmic influence there, cinematic influence that it's just a pleasure to listen to. Can you tell us, picking up on that, a little bit about the concept? Maybe is there you know, the whole idea behind the album? What themes were you wanting to explore, and what is the story there?
The concept, is based with hunger. You know, it was a big challenge for me because I'm comfortable to produce slow and emotional track. You know, and also I wanted to produce an album, but not too much technical also, you know, because when you know how to produce and you can use many techniques and think, yes, I can do more, and it can be more complex, and it can sound more complex. But I wanted something straight, you know, in the face.
When you go right back, I mean, to ask something you've probably been asked a few times, but I'm interested to know, how did you get into synthwave? What sort of turned you on to that this particular style of music?
Nicky Nine wanted to get a mixed master from one of his tracks, and he was already producing synthwave. And to be honest, I didn't know what was synthwave when I met him, and it was in Thailand. And I listened to his track. His track was the track I was mixing. It was Road. It's a classic from Nicky Nine. So I mixed it in Thailand with the speakers. Everything was really crappy, you know. But it was a really big challenge for me because it was not my room. It was not my stuff. So it was really hard. And we speak about the music I was producing since sometimes, and I was producing electronic music. I didn't know it could be called synthwave too. And so I said, can you listen? And he said, oh man, it's synthwave. It's what I do too. You should try to produce more synthwave. And when I have finished to mix this track, I said, okay. It's a style. We need to know more about this style. And I have begun to produce Sunset Love. And it took me perhaps less than 1 month to produce this EP. In the end, Nicky told me, I'm so jealous, man. You can produce so much faster, and it's super cool. And voila, that's how I get into synthwave.
Cool. And I think obviously coming from France, there was definitely the French sort of house scene, the techno scene that is influence in there. And there's obviously, as with synthwave in general, you've got all the influences from films and TV and computer games and all the things that we grew up with, nostalgic elements that you see factored in, plus kind of quite sort of progressive stuff that is also, you know, on the forefront of music production anyway. So it's great that we're able to encapsulate that. are you listening to anything currently that that isn't synthwave? Is there anything outside of this kind of pocket that you are influenced by and enjoy?
Yeah, there is many artists I like. There is a French artist called Precaire. He mixes classic music with electronic music, and I really enjoy it. It's really emotional. I like the Glitch Mob as example. Yes, Dead Mouse also. I like electronic music in the overall stuff, you know.
The broader spectrum of electronic music, yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite things. And yeah, sometimes I just listen to some pianists also, because sometimes I need to chill. And yeah, I learned piano first as instruments, you know. And yeah, I like to hear some nice track with pianists, yeah.
As well as doing the whole musician side, as well as Absolute Valentine, you also founded Drive Radio.
Yeah.
And you also helped run the LAZERDISCS label. That's right.
Yeah.
With Darren DeToni. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Without him, I don't know how I would do, but yeah, for sure.
He's
perfect.
He's such a good guy, and you know, I love Darren. He's so cool, and he's always got time for us, and you know, and the artists and everything. But I mean, how do you find time to manage things? Have you got sort of a mantra you live by, or you know, are you just really organized? You know, how do you do it all? Have you got a kind of a technique?
Yeah, there is two parts, you know. Yeah, I can be organized, but sometimes I live like a punk life, you know. I know for LaserDisc, as example, it's a company in a way, you know. And last time, someone told me, "Man, you are doing all these things we cannot do normally with the company." And I said, "Yeah." That's my personality, you know, and yeah, I mean, if I want to be different, I need to find my way. It's a little bit tricky to be artist and also to manage the label, because when you speak to other artists, you can think as artist and not as label. Yeah. But in a way, it's cool because I understand them. And they can understand me also. We can find the right ways and the right words to communicate and to make all these things happen. Voilà. So we just try to push it the most we can. Yeah.
Yeah, and I suppose you can empathize with the artists, like you say, and get the best out of them. And when if there's a tricky business decision, you are able to communicate that. In a better way than a lot of other guys who don't have necessarily the experience from a musical perspective. We talked about the concept of the album. Was there a concept behind Absolute Valentine itself? You know, when you were thinking of the name and you're looking at the imagery and the logo, was there anything there you had in your mind, or? Absolute.
Become really a justice man. You know, something like Batman. Or Spawn. As example, because there is something like a special power in the universe, and as example, Omega. I have called it Omega because I feel Absolute Valentine can be infinite, you know, and the Alpha and the Omega, they are infinite. Yeah.
Really cool. Okay, that's a really cool concept though, and so there's enough there to kind of give you scope to play with it. And do you think that the character might evolve? Do you see him kind of constantly evolving and maybe changing form or changing his costume or whatever? You know?
Yeah.
Possibly.
I think about it because one day I think the Absolute Valentine face will disappear for sure. I think Absolute Valentine will not want to show emotion anymore one day.
So he'll become almost like just an entity. And
an entity or something like robotic structure, you know, because we go in the future, and the future we will be able to get a robotic arm. We will be able to get implant in the eye and things like that. So perhaps he will go too far. We never know.
Yeah, no, that's a really cool idea that you can see the future aspects, the cyberpunk aspect coming in, and almost taking over to some extent. Obviously, you've just come back from America as well. You've done a tour of the States or a mini tour of the States. How was that?
It was super cool, super cool. It was my first time I played in US, and I was on tour with Wave Shaper, and the first show we have done in US was a festival called Neon Festival. And it was like synthwave con, like Comic Con. It was crazy. It was so big with so many people really enjoying the synthwave with all the cliche, for the class, and it was so cool.
So, are there any sort of places around the world that you have on your map to visit and maybe even play and tour?
Yeah, I would like to play in Japan just to see how they will react, about synthwave. I would like to play in Sydney or Amsterdam because I never played in these two cities. And another cities I would really like to play is Edinburgh. In Scotland, it's like a book, like a fantasy book, and so I would like to do.
Yeah, Edinburgh is a very cool city.
Try because I'm sure in summer the castle is really beautiful, and all the place should be beautiful. Yeah.
Cool. Are there any artists that you would like to play or collaborate with at the moment, whether synthwave or whatever,
First, I want to collaborate with Wave Shaper because, we are a good friend, and it needs to be done. It's something right and in the future for sure.
Cool. Okay.
I would like to collaborate with Nina also because I get a good feeling with Nina and Laura. We met last time, and we get a good moment, and So I would also like to do a collab with Nina for sure.
That would be amazing. She's such a professional act, and both of them are so good on stage. I saw them recently at Retro Future Fest in Sweden, Malmo, and I think they were my favourite act actually. Although everyone that played there that night was fantastic, but I was quite sort of blown away by it. So she's excellent. So just to get a little bit more information about you, music to one side, we need to find out this. So favorite 80s film or films, if you've got any that spring to mind.
My favorite films, the most of time there is something like Robot inside or EA, Robocop as example. It's one of my favorite. iRobot.
Cool.
I really enjoy it. The EA try to become human, to try to become human. And there is also a movie I really enjoy, and I think it get a big influence for Absolute Valentine name. It's The Crow. When I was teenager, I'm French. I don't speak that much English, but I was used to go in the comic book, and it was import comic book, so they come from USA, and there were no translation. And the first comic book I bought was The Crow. So voilà, that's my three favorite movies.
Okay. And lastly, so your English is far better than my French. I probably know 2 or 3 phrases at the best. But just for a bit of fun, I'm going to throw some words at you that are quite obscure British words, English words. Sorry. Can you and it's to ask you if you understand or know what they mean? Okay.
Okay.
So the first word, kerfuffle.
Kerfuffle.
Have you heard this?
Never. I never heard this, but I think it's sexual or something.
Kerfuffle?
Like
no, I know. See,
no.
None of these are rude words, by the way, Johann. Don't worry.
Yeah. but it could be.
Kerfuffle. Do you know what? Johnny's put this down. I don't even know if they're actual words, but kerfuffle, I would say, means maybe something like chaos or a mess, like a kind of panic. Kerfuffle. Is a kerfuffle of a moment. I think. I mean, people are going to say.
Yeah. So in French, it should be bordel. Okay.
Maybe. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Whippersnapper.
Snapper.
Have you heard this word?
Snap, but
whippersnapper.
Yeah, I don't know. I think something about something friendly, you know, but
yeah, it generally means he's a small and fast kind of person. I don't know, a young lad, a little whippersnapper, quite small and quite sort of energetic. I think. Is that right, Johnny? Maybe not. Okay. One more. Flummox.
Flummox?
Have you
Flummox, I think it's a brand. Yeah, I think it's a brand for cough syrup, you know? Flummox.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You know, something like that.
It's got a brand name to it. Flummox, I think, means kind of, when you're flummoxed. Okay, when you're confused. Okay. Anyway, there were just some random things that we've thrown in there for a laugh. Lastly, do you have anything you'd like to say to your fans and followers and people watching?
Yeah, first I would like to thank everybody for the support, you know, because right now I didn't get the time to thank everybody on Facebook as example, because I just hit 5,000 fans right now, but yeah, I didn't get the time to say thank you to everybody. And if you like Absolute Valentine, you have to listen to Omega. Really. Many people said it's a good album, so you try to listen to it.
And you know what? Fair play for getting the physical copies there as well, showing you the CD, old school. That is what it's about. It looks so cool as well, having it in your hand. So, well done. Look, Johann, I'll let you go, dude, because I know you're a busy guy.
Like that, I will begin to eat.
Yeah, dude. Well, I'll have a sip of wine for you.
Oh, cool. Cheers.
Cheers.
Some water.
Have a good night, dude.
Yeah, you too.
We'll hopefully see you soon, yeah.
Yeah, see you soon.
See you later.